World War I, the Great War, was a cataclysmic event. It reshaped the 20th century. It left millions dead and empires shattered. The war's effects were profound. They touched every aspect of life, society, economics, and politics. The world before 1914 was gone forever. In its place, a new world order emerged. It was marked by uncertainty, instability, and the seeds of future conflicts. The war's legacy continues to shape our world today. It serves as a reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of peace. The world in 1914 was a world on the brink. Nationalism, militarism, and imperial rivalries created a powder keg. Nationalism was a powerful force in the early 20th century. It fostered a sense of intense pride and loyalty to one's nation. Nationalist ambitions, often fueled by romantic visions of past glories, created rivalries and tensions between nations. This competition for power and prestige played a crucial role in the outbreak of war. Militarism further escalated these tensions. European nations engaged in a dangerous arms race. They built up their armies and navies to unprecedented levels. Military leaders exerted increasing influence on government policies. War, once considered a last resort, was now seen as a viable tool to achieve national goals. Imperial competition also contributed to the outbreak of war. European powers, driven by economic and political ambitions, had colonized vast territories around the globe. Competition for colonies, resources, and influence led to frequent clashes and heightened tensions among the great powers. In the decades leading up to World War I, a complex web of alliances emerged among European nations. These alliances, meant to deter aggression, drew Europe into conflict. When war broke out, it spread rapidly, engulfing the continent. The Triple Alliance included Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The Triple Entente included France, Russia, and Great Britain. An attack on one nation could quickly escalate into a wider conflict. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand set in motion the chain of events that led to war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was the spark that ignited the powder keg of European tensions. On June 28, 1914, while on a visit to Sarajevo, Bosnia, Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie were shot and killed by Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist. The assassination sent shockwaves through Europe, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to the outbreak of war. Austria-Hungary, outraged by the assassination, blamed Serbia for the act and sought to crush Serbian nationalism once and for all. With the unwavering support of Germany, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia on July 23, 1914. The ultimatum contained a series of harsh demands, including Serbian cooperation in an Austro-Hungarian investigation into the assassination. Serbia, fearing a loss of sovereignty and determined to resist Austro-Hungarian pressure, accepted most of the ultimatum's demands, but rejected others. Austria-Hungary, unsatisfied with Serbia's response and emboldened by German support, declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914, exactly 1 month after the assassination. Section 5. The Great War begins, a continent engulfed in flames. Austria-Hungary's declaration of war on Serbia in July 1914 triggered a chain reaction. Russia mobilized its troops to protect Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia on August 1st. Germany declared war on France on August 3rd. Germany invaded Belgium on August 4th, prompting Britain to declare war. Within days, Europe was at war. The Great War had begun. Section 6. The Western Front, a gruesome stalemate. The Western Front, stretching over 400 miles, became synonymous with the horrors of trench warfare. The war devolved into a bloody stalemate. Both sides dug in, constructing elaborate trench systems. The trenches, muddy and rat-infested, became a living hell for soldiers. Artillery bombardments turned the battlefield into a moonscape. The Battle of Verdun epitomized the brutality of the Western Front. The Battle of the Somme was another costly battle with heavy casualties. Section 7. The Eastern Front, a war of mobility and brutality. The Eastern Front, stretching over a vast expanse from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea, differed significantly from the static trench warfare of the Western Front. Characterized by greater mobility and fluidity, the Eastern Front witnessed sweeping offensives, massive encirclements, and brutal fighting. Russia, with its vast manpower reserves, initially posed a formidable challenge to the Central Powers. However, Russia's early successes were short-lived. Plagued by logistical problems, supply shortages, and weak leadership, the Russian army suffered heavy losses. The Battle of Tannenberg in August 1914 and the Battle of Masurian Lakes in September 1914 resulted in decisive German victories. The Brusilov offensive, launched by the Russians in June 1916, achieved initial success, but the gains were short-lived. Russia's involvement in the war, costly in terms of both manpower and resources, had a devastating impact on the country's economy and morale. Section 8. The Home Front. Total War and its impact on society. World War I was a total war, one that mobilized entire societies and economies to support the war effort. Governments on both sides implemented conscription, rationing, and censorship to control resources and maintain public morale. The war had a profound impact on the home front, transforming the lives of civilians and reshaping social norms. Women, traditionally relegated to domestic roles, entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, taking on jobs previously held by men who were away fighting. They worked in factories, producing munitions and other war materials, and served as nurses caring for the wounded. The war challenged traditional gender roles and paved the way for greater social and political rights for women. The war also led to the mass displacement of people. Refugees fleeing the fighting flooded into neighboring countries, creating a humanitarian crisis. Governments struggled to cope with the influx of refugees, straining resources and testing social cohesion. Section 9. The Collapse of Empires and the Birth of New Nations. The First World War led to the collapse of empires and the redrawing of the map of Europe. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, long plagued by internal divisions, disintegrated in the aftermath of defeat. The Ottoman Empire, once a formidable power, was dismantled, its territories divided among the victors. The Russian Revolution of 1917, sparked by the war's devastating impact on Russia's economy and morale, led to the overthrow of the Romanov dynasty and the establishment of the world's first communist state. The Bolshevik government, eager to consolidate its power and end Russia's involvement in the war, signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with Germany in March 1918, ceding vast territories to the Central Powers. The war's end saw the emergence of new nation-states, such as Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and Poland, fulfilling long-held aspirations for independence. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, formally ended the war and imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including territorial losses, disarmament, and crippling reparations payments. Section 10. The Legacy of World War I, a world forever changed. World War I left an indelible mark on the world, shaping the course of the 20th century and beyond. The war's legacy is complex and multifaceted, encompassing political, social, economic, and technological transformations. The war shattered the old order, undermining traditional power structures and paving the way for new ideologies and movements. The rise of communism, fueled by the Russian Revolution, posed a significant challenge to the capitalist West. The war's devastating impact on European economies and societies created fertile ground for extremist ideologies such as fascism, which promised order and stability in a time of chaos and uncertainty. The war also had a profound impact on the arts and literature, giving rise to a generation of writers and artists who sought to make sense of the war's horrors and its impact on humanity. The Lost Generation, as they came to be known, produced works that reflected the disillusionment, cynicism, and sense of loss that pervaded the post-war era. Section 11. Conclusion. The Echoes of War. World War I, the war to end all wars, tragically failed to live up to its name. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to create a lasting peace, instead sowed the seeds of future conflicts. The war's legacy continues to shape our world today, serving as a reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of diplomacy, cooperation, and understanding. The war's echoes can be heard in the ongoing conflicts and geopolitical tensions that plague our world. The rise of nationalism, populism, and authoritarianism in recent years is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of safeguarding democratic values. As we commemorate the centenary of the armistice that ended World War I, let us remember the lessons of the past and work towards a future where dialogue, diplomacy, and mutual respect prevail over conflict and violence. The echoes of war should serve as a constant reminder of our shared humanity and our responsibility to create a more just and peaceful world for all.